2022 BOLO book is now in my eBay store. And I feel like Steve Martin in The Jerk when he sees his name in the phone book. The new phone book's here, the new phone book's here. Well, the new BOLO book is here. The new BOLO book is here. Very exciting. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about how this year's book is the same as last year's and how it is better and different. Just a side note, I don't know if I have said this along the way, but I have modeled my BOLO books after the Covels Guide. And if you know anything about the Covels Guide, they are the authority for pricing antiques and collectibles. They started the Covels Guide in 1968, and they publish one every year with updated information. So back in the day, before everybody had a cell phone with internet access, you might see the employees at thrift stores or antique stores, wherever, pulling out the Covels Guide to look up prices on things before they price them and put them out on the floor. So this is the industry standard for pricing antiques and collectibles. And for several years, I've been thinking, wouldn't it be cool to have something like that specifically for eBay sellers to help them learn what to look for when you're out in the world treasure hunting? In addition to going over what's the same as last year and what's new and better for this year, I am going to show you a few items in the book, give you some freebies so you can see how the information is laid out and what you get when you buy this book. The main issue where there is some confusion is that sellers are comparing my BOLO book with these BOLO groups and retail arbitrage lists where you got to get out there and buy that stuff immediately or you can't make any money. And no, this is evergreen information, meaning it's been true for a long time and it's probably going to stay true for a long time because many of these items are vintage, discontinued, not made anymore. So the prices can only go up. And trust me, I'm not going to spend my time putting together something in print that is going to become obsolete very quickly. I have an investment in this too. It takes months to put this together and have the graphic design done and go through all the steps, having it physically printed. So this information is going to be true for a long time. And my vision is to be somewhat like Covels Guides and have a different volume for every year for however long people want it. So that's the backstory. Now let's get into what is the same as last year, meaning I got a lot of feedback about what people liked. So here's that list. Okay, first thing is it's the same size. So it's the perfect size to fit into a women's handbag, or guys, you're just gonna have to figure out how you want to carry it around with you. But it's the perfect size and it's portable. Second, it's the same quality paper. It's thick and durable, so it's not going to fall apart in a couple of weeks. The pages aren't like thin and transparent and see-through. This is a high quality product. Would you expect anything else from me? The same price, $49.97. I am not increasing the price due to inflation. It did cost me a little bit more to print it, but I'm not going to be like everybody else and raise my price. So same as last year. It's spiral bound, so it's perfect to set it on the table next to you when you're having your morning coffee before you go out thrifting for the day, or if you just want to open it to a new page every day so you can study as you're doing whatever around your house. Put it on the coffee table, the kitchen table, your bedside table, wherever, and the pages stay open and it's not going to fall apart. Also, large print and photos. So I got a lot of feedback that you guys appreciated that. Some of you even said you didn't need your reading glasses to read the print. So I'm thinking of who is going to be using this. And I know that most of my audience is in the 45 to 65-year-old age. And yes, the age of reading glasses. There is an index just like last year, so you can look up things by different names. If you remember seeing it and you can't remember the name of it, you can check it out in the index and find what you're looking for. So again, I am your personal researcher, compiling this information in a user-friendly way. So all you have to do is study it and start shopping. Okay, what's different this year? What's better? First of all, no repeats from the 2021 BOLO book. So if you buy both of them, you're going to have 250 different items to consider when buying for resale. It's not a bunch of recycled information. Second, there are different and additional categories. Most items are evergreen, meaning they will be valuable and profitable forever. This is by design, so the information will have value in the future. You may accumulate a number of these books over time, and most of the information is going to remain true in the future, so your investment is going to pay you back for a long time. Okay, there are 125 items. 66 of those items, which is 53%, I learned this year. Well, since the last BOLO book was printed in 2021. So it's a lot of new stuff that I didn't even know about. So again, I'm your personal researcher, recording this information and making it available to you. 80 of the items, which is 64%, there is no video or lesson in the premium library. So again, not a bunch of recycled information. Vintage items are identified with this symbol. So if that's primarily what you're interested in, it's easy to find those in the book and you can focus on those. I included the number sold according to Terapeak, looking back 1 year, July 2021 to June 2022. And I did this in the calendar too, and a lot of you liked this. So you can see how rare or findable these items are. Some items, thousands sold, some a couple hundred, some under 20. So you'll have a perspective of how likely am I to find this item. Clothing and shoes entries show either a logo or a garment label, and I chose items that are easy to spot, evergreen, have high profit margins, and are findable. And something different this year is books will only be sold in my eBay store. We learned a lot last year trying to sell them through Teachable, which is the platform where my premium library is. And that site is just, doesn't mesh well with selling physical items. So since my audience is on eBay, that's where they're going to be sold. We also ran into some problems with international sales. So that is solved by selling these on eBay, where they will be shipped eBay International Standard Delivery. Okay, and keep in mind that this is not a print on demand situation. The books are printed in advance, delivered to me in bulk, and then I put them in my eBay store. So I am the person shipping them to you. No unreliable middleman. I looked into the print on demand situation, and that's just not a good fit for the way I do business. So that being said, stock may run out temporarily, but I will continue to restock as fast as I can, but that's going to involve some lag time. And I will keep you informed about the restocking timeline if that occurs. My best advice is not to wait to get one, because you may run into an out of stock situation and have to wait a few weeks. And also a reminder that all of the items in the 2022 book are different from the 2021 book. So if you don't have either one, you might want to get both of them and then you will know about 250 different items. Okay, now let me show you a few items in this year's book. These are your freebies. Even if you are a premium library member, there are no lessons or videos about these items. So watch and listen up and take notes. Okay, I'm going to be reading this out of the book, and here it is, but because of the magic of technology, it disappears in the background. So that is not good. So here it is. And let's get started with your first freebie in the books section. Books is a new section this year, and there are 10 items in that section. All right, the first item is The Adventures of Rush Revere Books. And these are books by Rush Limbaugh and his wife. And unfortunately, since his passing, they have become more valuable, which often happens. This is a series for young readers. And of course, as with most books that come in a series, the more of them you have in a set, the more they're worth. But these can sell for up to $100. And if you look at the information about how many sold over the last year, 1,350. So these are definitely findable. Collectibles is a section that's probably always going to be in every book, and there are 13 items in that section this year. Okay, your next freebie is in the collectibles section. It is on page 39, and it is Frankie the Fish. I actually found and sold this item for $50, and this is a promotional item from McDonald's that was put out in 2009, and it sings and flaps its tail, and it's pretty ridiculous.
Give me that nipple little fish. Give me that fish. Give me that nipple little fish. Give me that fish.
But people are looking for them. And 340 of these sold within that 1 year window. So maybe 30 a month. It's definitely findable. Okay, Consumables is a new section for 2022. And if you have been following me for a while, you might remember those discontinued item lists I used to put together. This section is along those same lines. So these items have either been discontinued, or they're hard to find, or were discontinued due to COVID and manufacturing issues, supply issues. So I did find some interesting things there. And there are 10 items in the Consumables section. Your freebie is Tivana Youthberry Tea. It comes in all different configurations. And the way I figured the selling price is per ounce. So it's about $16 per ounce if you find any. Okay, the next category is fashion. And that's a new one this year, but don't worry if you're not a clothing seller because there are 22 items in this section. So it's not like half the book. A lot of people associate me with only being a clothing seller, and that is not true anymore. So only 18% of the items are clothing items. I did choose items that are easy to recognize and kind of jump out at you. So if you're wanting to get into clothing, this is a great way to start. And your freebie is the brand Frank and Eileen. I found one of these this year, and it sold for around $80. And I had never heard of this label before. These are kind of plain looking, so you want to train yourself to look through the collared or denim shirts because that's where they're hiding. There were 3,200 of these sold in that 1 year window. So they're definitely out there, and you might find them if you know to look for them. Some can sell for up to $100 in pre-owned condition. So that brand is Frank and Eileen. Okay, the next section is kitchen. This is a popular category no matter where you go. Thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales. There's always more to learn in the kitchen section. This chapter has 16 items, and your freebie is this retired pampered chef oven mitt. Apparently they're made very well and they're thick. And as with most consumer goods, things were made better back in the day. So these can sell for up to $75 for an oven mitt. And there were 100 sold over that 1 year period. So that's like 8 a month. Definitely findable. The next category is Plush, a crowd favorite. There are 13 items in this section, and your freebie is vintage Fisher-Price cozies. I found the yellow one last year and sold it for $80. And I know this item because my son had the blue one. So I totally remember this. And I will never sell his. I still have it packed away in his childhood stuff. And these have been posted on the Money Making Monday several times. So Fisher-Price cozies, 270 of them were sold during that 1 year period. So these little cuties are out there. Okay, another new category this year is shoes. And you may not be a shoe seller, and that's okay. I challenge you to at least look for these and see if you can find them, because there is an ick factor when selling shoes, but once you start selling them for $60 to $100, you kind of get over it. And there are 14 items in this section. So not an overload of shoes if you're not interested, but one of the features of this book is that at least you'll know and you can look for them and then make that decision later after you start finding them. Your freebie is the brand Vasque, V-A-S-Q-U-E. I learned about this earlier this year because I found a pair, and they are very high quality work boots, hiking boots, and shoes. And they can sell for up to $150 in pre-owned condition. Okay, and your last freebie, this is also a new category this year, trash to cash. I started accumulating a list of all these things that you might even have in your home right now. And it's just mind-blowing the kind of trash you can sell on eBay. Your freebie is burlap sacks. And I learned about this helping a friend list some items on eBay that came out of a storage unit. And we were both just floored that you can get $50 or more for an old, dirty, even wrinkled, even with holes in it, burlap sack. People are using these for all kinds of upcycling, home decor, making decorations for their porch, putting plants in them, hanging them on the wall, all kinds of stuff. So if you have any of these, check the prices because burlap sacks, especially with advertising, that's more of a collectible, but they can sell for over $50. Okay, that is the quick review of the 2022 BOLO book, available now in my eBay store. The link is below. And you don't want to wait because I anticipate these will run out and I will need to restock. And just be aware that if it's not in my store, that it will be replenished. So if you have any questions, comments, post them below. I'm really proud of this year's edition and so excited that it's finally available so that everybody can make more money on eBay. This really is a business where what you don't know can hurt you. Ignorance is not bliss. The more you know, the more money you'll make. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to ship your book to you. Have a great day on eBay. Bye.